Hello everyone, I'm Ben Contreras, and welcome to a very different episode of... This isn't necessarily a Ben Talks About video, but what I'm actually going to be doing actually involves this thing right here, which is a Gundam plastic model kit. And I've actually done a video, if you go way close to the middle portion of my channel, I did these two videos where I built my very first Gundam model kit, which was a long time ago. That was back when I think that was back when I still had my long hair, and can't really imagine what I was thinking during that time. But one video that I really wanted to do is that I've wanted to make a video where I actually build one of these things on camera. And a majority of the time when people make these sort of like building videos, they have, they time lapse it, they cut certain parts of it. But here I'm just going to be doing a full series where I'm just going to be building this whole entire thing on camera. We're going to see the whole entire process of me doing so, and I'm just going to talk about stuff while I'm doing so. Whether or not this is a good idea, I have no idea. I have no idea if this is going to be a good idea. So, but yeah, as you can no doubt see right here, this is a yeah, right here, this is a, you can't really see it because of the price tag, but this is actually a real grade Gundam model kit, which is the way that the Gundams are sort of like labeled in terms of like their kits. Each of the kits have like a different like type to them, and real grades are ones that are sort of like in the middle ground. Like they have the same type of detail that you would get from the larger master grade kits, but they are around the same size as the regular like high grade kits, which are much like smaller and compact. So basically you get the size of the smaller kits, but the amount of detail of the much larger kits, which which is pretty cool. And for the first part, I sort of wanted to just get the box open and just get everything set up before I actually start building it. And also, I actually got this for a rather I don't want to necessarily say cheap price, but it actually only costed like around $30, which for a kit like this, you can usually find these things for much higher prices like online. But I actually ended up getting this at a Hobby Lobby of all places. I didn't really expect them to have Gundam kits there. I mean, I've seen them have model kits before, but I feel like these things are much more I guess a sort of niche sort of fan base, I guess you could say, which is kind of weird when I see these type of things at places like Hobby Lobby or Target. And the next thing you know, we're probably going to see these things pop up at Walmart. But yeah, one thing that I actually really appreciate about the kit that I actually found here is that they actually kept the plastic wrapping that the kit actually comes in. Because usually when you buy these things, usually like secondhand from someone else, they already have the plastic wrap taken off, and they just cover, they just have they just have like it taped onto the back so it doesn't go loose, which the fact that they actually keep it as if it was new, which I'm pretty sure it actually is, since it is in the plastic wrap. I actually found that quite surprising. But yeah, overall, I actually do really like the design of the front of the box. I really appreciate the sort of the simplicity of the real grade boxes, where they have like the main, like I guess you could say, mugshot of the specific model kit, and then you also have the entire thing shown in full. And this is actually from the I believe it's called a Crossbone Gundam series, where it was actually a manga, but it didn't start out as a manga. It started out as this OVA that was originally commissioned as a series, but was reduced to a single like movie. And I believe that film wasn't really received that entirely well, which is why it actually never got a full series, and it eventually just became the manga that most people know it as. And as you can no doubt tell, since this whole thing is wrapped up in the saran wrap, I'm gonna have to get this whole thing out, which isn't really too difficult. So yeah, we got all of that stuff. I probably should have brought the trash can over with me, But yeah, we go ahead and then we take it out of the box like that, and then you just, the whole thing stays completely clean. And then we got all of these things, these little like runners, with all the different individual pieces that you have to all build together yourself. Because that's basically the name of the game when it comes to these Gundam model kits. And then at the very bottom you actually have the instruction manual. It has the same sort of artwork that it has on the front of the box. I'm just going to go ahead and put that down there. And one thing I actually appreciate about these sort of manuals is that it actually turns like an actual manual, whereas the other like smaller kits, they just have it so that it all flips out. So you see all the bits at once. But I find it a lot more organized when you can actually like turn the pages and actually like see it step by step, so it doesn't really get as overly confusing as it needs to be. So yeah, another thing that I actually wanted to showcase right here is actually this thing of tools that I sort of got based specifically for for building this model kit. It's basically a whole bunch of different tools that you would use to like get rid of all like the nub marks that you get when you take the plastic portions off, and also you actually got myself a proper thing of clippers so that when I actually do take them out, it's not as overly like noticeable that they came from those little like runner pieces. So let me go on ahead and actually get all of these things out of the plastic wrap, and I will actually go ahead and I will see you then. And I went ahead and got everything out of their packaging, and usually what I would do here is that I would have all of these in alphabetical order. What I mean by that is if you look at every single one of these little runner areas, you can see, for example, right here, each of them have like a letter attached to them. So then when you look at the instructions, it'll like say, this piece is on the on part A or part B or C or D and all that stuff. And so they pretty much keep yourself like organized, and you don't have to like look really hard at the at what you're actually looking at. So yeah, these things, they try their best to be beginner friendly, but lots of people can still get overwhelmed by these kind of things, which it makes sense. And of course, Jackie is sitting in the box that I left over on the floor. If you want to go ahead and show the audience. Yeah, he does that all the time. Whenever we get something new, he always wants to display in the box.
You're a naughty boy. You go play in your box.
He tries to act all innocent, but he knows that he's being naughty.
Maybe he wants to be a Gundam. You do? Yeah? Okay, go be a Gundam in the box. Go ahead. Yes, you're allowed. Yeah, he said you can. I know, you're a good boy.
I think he just wants us to pay attention to him.
You're a good Gundam. I know.
He doesn't like not being in the spotlight, except for when he doesn't want to be in the spotlight. I feel like that's kind of pretty much what cats do. They either want food, they want to sleep, or they want like attention from people. Which is kind of weird because they always say that cats are much easier to take care of than dogs, which, it actually does make sense because, cats will eventually reach a point where they'll want to have like time to themselves. They don't constantly need attention like dogs do. Alrighty, so.
And you don't have to be seen in public with their poo.
Yeah, that is one other thing.
That's what, I couldn't. Their litter box is very private. I like that.
Ah, okay. So this part are actually all on like joints, so you can actually like move them around. It's actually pretty interesting. I've never seen like a kit that has something like that.
Can you show it?
See, it's like these things can like are like on a hinge joint, so you're able to like move them around. I guess this thing must have some sort of like folding gimmick. Probably. And this part apparently isn't actually part of the main kit itself. It's part of like a little like accessory piece.
Sorry about my shaky camera work. I'm not the best camera person.
That's fine.
I don't want to make anybody nauseous.
I'm pretty. I think people being nauseous is probably the least of their worries right now. Okay, so that part's done. So then I need to go and see. Yeah, here it is. On the E part, we can actually see some of the hands that this kit comes in. He has like a pair of like open hands, and he has a pair of like trigger finger hands. If you can see that.
I'm trying to get it. Wait, my depth. Oh, there they are. My God, they look like little skeleton hands.
Yeah.
How cute.
They're like all skinny at first, but then when you add like the little bits to it, they look a lot bigger than they actually are.
That's cute. There you go.
And then we do. Oh yeah, I have it backwards. So I go ahead and take this piece here. And one other thing about these kits is that a lot of the parts are like so like tiny, like because they have like so much. They try to get as much detail to it as possible. Certain details are like entirely separate pieces on their own, whereas on like the cheaper, like smaller kits, they would be like a sticker that you would put onto it.
Would
But
you like some magnifying glasses?
No, I think it'll be good. So I just go like that, and then it should go and fold into itself like that. Oh, so now it's actually in a. Oh, wait. Yeah, it should go like that. So then it's all like folded into itself into like into like an actual like crust sort of shape. So that looks pretty cool. And then yeah, these things can still like move around on like their ball joints and all that. So we turn it to this side like that, and then I need to get an area from the first side. That's all the way right here. So this will go like that. Then like that. Then for the other half you can just like twist it off like that.
Is it raining?
It might be. I think it might be raining. The weather's been like really, really inconsistent lately. And it looks like that's all the time that I have for part 1, so I will actually see you all in part 2.